She went to a wealthy man's home to apply for a nanny job, but right there during the interview, her skirt suddenly ripped. Trying to cover the awkward moment, she quickly tied her jacket around her waist. That's when the man of the house walked over, smiling warmly as he greeted her.
Louisa Clark.
Louisa had no idea that this little moment would actually leave a good impression. The lady of the house thought she was poised and well-mannered, and offered her the job on the spot, with a surprisingly high salary of $500 a month. But the job wasn't going to be easy. Louisa was hired to take care of their son Will, who had been paralyzed for years.
You appear to have a problem with your skirt.
Will's sarcasm hit her immediately, and in that moment, Louisa realized this job was nothing like she had imagined. But she had no choice. Her entire family was counting on her. Her father had lost his job. Her mother was a stay-at-home mom with no income. Her sister was still in college and couldn't work. Louisa was the only one holding everything together. So the next day, she showed up for work. That's when the doctor told her, aside from giving Will his meds on time, she didn't need to do anything else. But Louisa didn't feel right about that. With a paycheck that big, she felt she should be doing more. After hyping herself up, she finally worked up the courage to talk to Will. She suggested going out for a walk, but Will shut her down right away. He didn't want to go anywhere. He just wanted to sit. Louisa was caught off guard. She struggled to find words. When she finally tried to start another conversation, Will coldly asked her to leave. Even so, Louisa didn't give up. She started showing up every day, in bright, colorful outfits. If being quiet and polite didn't work, she'd try being bold and fully herself. At first, Will was just surprised, but over time, her fashion choices became hard to ignore. Unlike everyone else who treated Will with caution, Louisa treated him like a regular person. Her clumsy, fearless nature led to all sorts of awkward moments, like dropping food on him, and instead of helping him change, trying to dry the mess with a hairdryer. But for Will, those moments brought a spark of life back. He actually started looking forward to seeing her each day. Louisa didn't notice the change. To her, Will still seemed cold and distant, until one day, Will's ex-girlfriend and his best friend came to visit. They seemed hesitant, then finally admitted something huge. They were now together. Will looked calm on the outside, but inside, he was crushed. After they left, Louisa heard a crash from his room. She rushed in, and saw that he had shattered a photo of himself and his ex. As a man who had lost control of his body, he couldn't even throw a proper tantrum. So how could he possibly give the woman he loved the kind of life she deserved? After his accident, Will had cut off all contact with his girlfriend. He didn't want her to see him like this. Louisa felt a wave of sympathy, so she quietly pieced the broken photo frame back together, hoping to preserve at least one good memory for him. But Will got furious. He scolded her on the spot. Louisa didn't understand. Why was he always pushing people away? With cruel, bitter words, but this time, she didn't back down.
Not because I care about you or particularly enjoy your company, but because I need the money. I really need the money.
And for once, he didn't have a comeback. Maybe he finally saw how tough Louisa's life really was, and maybe he didn't want to make it any harder. From that day on, his attitude started to change. Then came the unexpected. He actually invited Louisa to watch a movie with him. She got completely absorbed in the film, and while she watched, Will watched her. She was lost in the story, and he was quietly enjoying her joy. Afterward, they talked about the film. That small conversation sparked something between them. They were getting closer. Will began to smile again, and slowly, he started going outside more. People around him were stunned. Even his doctor said, "I haven't seen him this happy in ages." Louisa felt proud, but just when things seemed to be going well, Will caught a cold. It should have been nothing serious, but for Will, it was dangerous. That night, Louisa didn't go home. She chose to stay and care for him. She'd always wondered, how did Will end up like this? She wanted to ask, but was afraid it might come off as rude. Luckily, Will didn't mind. He told her it had been a traffic accident. Louisa felt deeply sorry for him, so that night, she shared silly stories from her childhood, sang goofy songs, and even opened up about her own regrets. Outside, snow and wind howled, but inside, Will fell asleep peacefully by her side. From that night on, everything changed. Will couldn't imagine his days without her. At her suggestion, he even shaved off the scruffy beard he'd let grow for years. It felt like he was finally shedding the weight of everything he'd lost in that accident. Louisa was thrilled, but it didn't last. One day, she overheard an argument between Will's parents. That's when she found out Will had been keeping a secret so big, it could turn Louisa's whole world upside down. Want to know what happens next? Follow me. The rest of the story is coming soon.